Hey guys! 2 weeks ago, Big Brother Canada debuted with its 9th season. I've been a Big Brother fan ever since I was a kid, and it has always been a dream of mine to be on the show. So today's story time, we are going to talk about one of the many times that I've been able to put my years of watching Big Brother to the test. Before we get to the main meat and potatoes of this video, let's do a little exposition. It is midnight, July 2012. I was sitting at the computer looking up if Canadians could play Big Brother, because at the time, Big Brother Canada did not exist. And knowing that I wouldn't be able to play Big Brother, I cried into the night. Until I found this website. It was like a social media RPG type website where people would talk and play games, surrounding Big Brother and like Survivor. And this website went by the name of 10Gauged. I was very curious to see what this website was, so I made an account and I entered my first game. I was so entranced and I was so happy that there was at least this little glimmer of hope that I was able to do something that was, at that time, my favorite thing, at least under wrestling, because, But yeah, I was entranced, and I played these games until like 5 a.m. when my mom got up, and she saw me playing the games, and she was like, "What are you doing up? Go to bed." And I did. I just brought the keyboard and mouse with me, and I zoomed in the browser so I could see everything. And then I played until 8 a.m. when my mom left for work. And then I fell asleep on the couch watching cartoons. And that was day one of what was basically my main hobby for about 4 years. The main focus of this video is about my time on a group game called Expect the Unexpected. A group game can be hosted by any user at all, and what group games usually entail are multiple forums, and you can use polls and such. You can use Skype as well. It's awesome. It's awesome, and we'll get into it throughout this video. Expect the Unexpected was hosted by a user named I'm going to put it right here, but what we were able to call him was Jacob. So we called him Jacob, and that's what we will call him throughout this video. Competing in this series were some of the best years of my life. Making it to the next week honestly felt like a form of accomplishment for me. My first season was season 8 in about January 2013. The main twist of this season was called Friends and Foes. So basically, each person who entered the house would have a friend and a foe. So I had a guy named Austin as my ally, my friend, and I had a guy named Nick as my foe. And if your friend gets voted out, then you don't get to compete in the next HOH competition. If your foe gets voted out, you get a special prize, like an extra vote at eviction or something. This season was not my brightest hour. I made the absolute stupidest alliance anybody could possibly make. I made an alliance with me, my ally, Sam, who is, and I'm not joking here, the friend of my foe. And I also made the fourth person in that alliance was my foe. Why did I think that was a good idea? I do not know. But it was smooth sailing for a couple weeks because I was not active at all. And that is something, that's why I want to move through this season quickly, because I was not active at all during the season, barely at all. On day 13, Sam, the friend of my foe, nominated me and voted me out with a tiebreaker vote, because I got a couple extra votes. So if I was active, I wouldn't have gotten those extra votes, because it was a penalty vote for not sending in diary rooms every 3 days or whatever. So, yeah. And normally that would be it, because I got 11th place. So I was not, in the jury section, but a couple of people did not compete in the jury. Maybe they were salty, maybe they were busy. So I was able to vote. And the funny thing is, I voted for Sam to win. You can't make this up. A couple months later in October, Jacob was hosting a all-star season, and you know what? I was, believe it or not, I matured within a couple months. So I was like, I want a second chance at this, and I will actually play this time. And the whole audition process and all that was way different to when the first time I joined. I think I just had to put my name in and fill out a simple application. This time it was like a full-on interview with voice-to-voice, one-on-one interview, saying why should I have you on the in this game. It honestly was such an immersive experience. It honestly felt like I was playing Big Brother, and I had to get the right questions. It felt like a job interview, which I'm surprised I did not blow. Somehow I made it, and the difference between this season and the previous season I was on is that a majority of the season took place over Skype, and in the seasons to come, I have many voice chats saved on my computer still from the future seasons. If you guys want more stories just like this, there are so many voice files of diary rooms and in calls where we're strategizing, and I would love to show them to you. So if you guys want another one of these stories, let me know. I'm very excited to show them. The main twist this season was that we were put into duos, and I gravitated towards a player named Eric. And just to keep it simple, we played a Survivor group game together. He was my only ally for both the seasons that we played together. So we immediately gravitated towards each other, and he was my number one ally, all the way to... In the first week, Mike got evicted. Now remember that guy, because he will be important for this story and, other stories if we plan on doing this again. So yeah, the only alliance that I had besides with Eric was a 5-person alliance, which consisted of me, Eric, a guy named Chris, Deshaun, and Logan. I think we called ourselves the Hulkamaniacs or something. It was something stupid. I don't remember, but it was really funny. In week 3, it was Thanksgiving for the people, us in Canada, eh? And Corey was named the new head of household. And what you need to do when there's a new head of household that you have not talked game with, you always need to try and butter them up and make sure you do not get yourself put up on the block. So that's what I tried to do. I butter him up so much that I tell Corey that Sam is going after him. Yes, did I not tell you? Sam is in this season. Oh boy. That was a complete lie. And Corey even called me out on it, saying, oh, I talked to Sam and he said he wasn't coming after me, so... And you'd think I'd respond. Nope. You'd think you'd respond to the HOH after you lied to him about somebody coming after him, so you've already proven that you are a snake. So it's pretty obvious what came next. Was it A, I didn't get nominated, but he exposed me to everybody in the house, or B, he nominated me and exposed me to everybody in the house, or C, he didn't nominate me and I flew right under the radar? If you guessed C, you're correct! Tell them what they win!
You win the state-of-the-art paper fortune teller that was created in the world-renowned video Spinning the Wheel to Decide What I'll Do Under Quarantine. You'll be the most talked about at any party you go to.
I somehow lucked out and didn't get nominated by the HOH that I lied to 21 hours prior. But we were still in a little bit of a pickle because the same day the power veto and the nominations took place, I was going to be at the car dealership, which I was at for 6 hours. I was using a laptop with car dealership Wi-Fi, playing for what could be my life in the game. Corey won within 2 seconds of the other person that came in second. Everybody was close except for me. And then we reached the veto meeting, and Corey didn't use the veto. Now we skip a couple weeks and we go into week 5. Mike wins a spot back in the game, and then we have a double eviction where I win my first and only HOH. Throughout the 5 weeks, I had one, semi-target in mind. And that was Sam, because I was still a little salty that he got me out in the previous season. And then my second nominee, I somehow grew some big boy pants, and I actually put up Corey. And with the help of my allies, we actually I managed to win the POV, and then we actually managed to get Corey out of the house. And then we reach week 7, which is when everything turned for the worst. Following the veto, Eric got nominated by one of our allies, and then he was kicked out. And then we had a double eviction right after that. Sam won the HOH, and then guess who ended up leaving? Me. And I got 6th place out of like 14 people. And the cool thing about this getting 6th place was that I was not put up on the block at all, not once, until I was evicted at 6th place. And it honestly feels like an awesome accomplishment to know that I didn't go up on the block at all until I was evicted. Getting 6th, I was a member of the jury, and the final 2 for this season was Mike, and guess who? Sam! And I was voting for Mike up until like the last hour where we had to lock in our votes. And that's because someone asked a jury question like, what do you think of each juror? And Sam answered, if I didn't put up Steven, nobody would. Which completely buttered me up. So I voted for Sam, and I was the deciding vote. Which, that one vote would haunt me in a future season. But that is all we are going to do today. If you guys want another story just like this, let me know, because I would love to do another one. I love to talk about myself. We got voice recordings, diary rooms, so many things. So if you guys like this video and you want another one, let me know. So that is going to be it. Thank you guys for watching.